Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is 1 p.m. and we are going to call the July 9th meeting of the Planning Advisory Committee to order. If I could have a motion to adopt this afternoon's agenda. Mayor Elmsley, seconded by Member Willick. All in favor? That carries. Thank you. Is there any declarations of pecuniary interest this afternoon? Okay, seeing and hearing none, we will move right into item 3, public meeting reports. As required under the Planning Act, a public meeting is being held prior to the committee making a recommendation on these applications. All recommendations that come out of this afternoon will be forwarded to the next regular council meeting on July 22nd. The purpose of this public hearing is to allow the committee to gather information on the applications before us, to hear those wishing to make submissions on the applications, and to allow the committee to ask questions of the applicants, interested parties, and staff. Everyone speaking today is requested to state their name for the public record, and in the interest of time, the committee respectfully asks that you keep your comments to no more than 5 minutes. When the appropriate time comes after the planner makes their presentation, members of the public will be provided an opportunity to speak to any public meeting items on the agenda. At that point, please either unmute yourself and turn your video on or come to the podium and press the speak button to activate the microphone. And with that, we will move into item 3.1, Plan 2025-037, an application to amend the Township of Somerville zoning bylaw 78-45 at 87 Burke Road, Burnt River. Mr. Timothy?
Hello, yes, my name here is Timothy Govea. I'm going to share my screen here. Is that showing up?
Yep.
Looks like it, okay. So hello, everyone. My name is Timothy. I'm a registered professional planner from Dillon Consulting Limited here on behalf of the City of Kawartha Lakes Development Services Division. I want to thank the applicant for being here today, and to the staff and the chair and the rest of the Planning Advisory Committee for considering the zoning bylaw amendment application at 87 Burke Road today, being presented and received for informational purposes only. I'd like to note that the notice for the application was originally given to each landowner, agencies, and departments in accordance with matters of the Planning Act, initially being circulated on May 16th, 2025. This is the first circulation and appearance at PAC for this application. The subject lands are located at 87 Burke Road, Somerville, and the subject lands are known legally as Concession 11, Part Lot 4, and Registered Plan 57R6881, Part 2 in the City of Kawartha Lakes. The subject lands encompass a total approximate area of 8,697 square meters with no direct frontage on Burke Road. Existing uses include a single detached dwelling and 2 small accessory structures. Surrounding uses include to the north, agricultural, and a portion of the Burnt River. To the east, other residential uses, and to the south and west, the Burnt River as well. The subject lands are zoned environmental protection on Schedule A of the Somerville zoning bylaw, and under the City of Kawartha Lakes official plan, they are designated rural. The applicant is proposing to rezone portions of the subject lands to facilitate the removal of the existing single detached dwelling to replace it with a new detached dwelling at an increased distance from the shoreline. The application is needed as the environmental protection zone does not permit single detached dwelling uses. Planning staff respectfully recommend that the application be received for informational purposes only and referred back to staff until refinements to the zoning bylaw amendment and respective technical studies have been addressed. The applicant is here to assist in any questions anyone may have at this time. So thank you.
Thank you. Committee, any questions of Timothy at this time? Member Barkwell?
Thank you very much. I just had, I think this is quite far up on the Burt River, that the slope or the land is quite high, so that there are embankments there. So it's above what is normally considered the flood zone on the Burnt River. I didn't see that in any of the mapping. I was just curious about that.
Through you, the chair, on this slide here, and which is studied through the slope stability study, which is one of the things that requires further review. I believe the the upper blue line is the highest point of the flood line, which the applicant is proposing to construct the new dwelling outside of. Just can't zoom into it here.
Does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
Well, so we'll probably just get more detail when it comes back with the next, probably, right? Thank you.
Councillor Richardson?
Thank you, through your chair. So when this slope report comes back, it usually identifies the what the engineers are asking the owner to do to make sure that the slope is enforced correctly, correct?
Yes, that's a portion of it. It's being reviewed by the Kawartha Conservation Authority for satisfaction. So it will be through the Conservation Authority that any concerns around the stability of the slope will be addressed.
All right. Any further questions at this time from committee? All right. Seeing and hearing none. Does the applicant, owner, or their agent wish to speak to the application?
Good afternoon. I am here, but I think Tim's kind of covered it at this point, and that we are waiting for some further technical review. But if there are any other questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
All right. Committee, are you still good? All good? All right. At this time, does anyone wish to speak to the application? Anyone from the public wishing to speak to the application? Calling a third and final time. Anyone from the public wishing to speak to the application? All right. Seeing and hearing none. Committee, what is your recommendation for council? Mayor Elmsley?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The report plan 2025-037, application to amend the Township of Somerville zoning bylaw 78-45 at 87 Burke Road, Burnt River, plat ensures be received for information.
Seconder, Councillor Warren. Any discussion? Calling the question. All in favor? And that carries. Thank you. That brings us to item 3.2. Plan 2025-042, an application to amend the Township of Ops zoning bylaw 93-30 at 155 Monarch Road, Lindsay, Redmond. Go ahead, Julio.
Hello. So I believe Sarah is sharing the screen. Is that correct?
Julio, you can share your screen. I'll keep pacing Council Chambers.
Oh, okay. So let me share my screen. Okay, there you go. So hello everyone, my name is Julio Sarti Caldeira. I am an urban planning from Dillon Consulting Limited, here on behalf of the City of Kawartha Lakes Development Services Division. Thank you to staff, the chair, and the rest of the Planning Advisory Committee for considering the zoning bylaw amendment application to prohibit future residential development on portions of the subject land. I would like to note that notice for this application was originally given to each the landowner, agencies, and departments in accordance with matters of the Planning Act. This is the first circulation and appearance at fact for this application. The subject lands, as shown on screen, are located at 155 Monarch Road in the former Township of Ops. The subject lands encompass a total area of approximately 40.6 hectares with approximately 231 meters of frontage on Monarch Road. Existing uses on these lands include a single-family dwelling and agricultural. Surrounding uses include residential, agricultural, and natural features. The subject lands are zoned agricultural on Schedule A of the Township of Ops zoning bylaw and designated prime agricultural, environmental protection, and sand and gravel resource on Schedule A3 of the City of Kawartha Lakes official plan. And as per condition of the consent for severance of a surplus farm dwelling under file number D03-2025-003, the applicant seeks to rezone the proposed retained lands to prohibit residential uses. As per schedule of Appendix D of the Planning Advisory Committee report shown on screen, the proposed zoning bylaw amendment seeks to amend Schedule A of the Township of Ops zoning bylaw 93-30 from the agricultural A zone to the site-specific agricultural exception 24 zone, as shown on the screen as A-24. In terms of policy conformity, the zoning bylaw amendment is supported in the Provincial Planning Statement 2024 and in the official plan. I would like to note that the header of Schedule A in Appendix D of Report Plan 2025-042 currently reads 2024, and an updated schedule with the correct year 2025 has been prepared as shown on screen, and will replace the current version before this amendment is presented at the next council meeting. Planning staff are of the opinion that the zoning bylaw amendment is appropriate as it facilitates the lot severance. And accordingly, staff respectfully recommend that the zoning bylaw amendment respecting application D06-2025-008 in the form attached in Appendix D to Report Plan 2025-042 be approved. And I would also like to inform that I am here to assist in any questions anyone may have at this time. Thank you.
Thank you. Committee, any questions at this time? Clear as mud? All right. Does the applicant, owner, or their agent wish to speak to the application? Do you just want to turn the mic on, Bill?
Good afternoon, it's Bill Reeser. I would just like to say that I'm supporting this as we have produced feed here on this land for 15 years, and it'll allow us to continue farming and producing feed for our dairy herd, this rezoning.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, is there anyone from the public wishing to speak to the application? Anyone from the public wishing to speak to the application? Calling a third and final time. Anyone from the public wishing to speak to the application? Seeing and hearing none. Committee, your recommendations. Member O'Reilly.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. I move that we receive the report and move the recommendation, the application to amend the Township of Ops zoning bylaw 93-30 at Monarch Road, Lindsay, Redmond be received for information. A zoning bylaw amendment respecting application D06-2025-008, substantially in the form of attached Appendix D to Report Plan 2025-042 be approved and adopted by council, and the mayor and clerk be authorized to execute the documents required for the approval of this application.
Okay, I think Lee, can you turn your video on? Thank you. Seconder for the motion, Councillor Richardson, any discussion? Calling the question, all in favor? And that carries. Thank you. This public meeting held under the Planning Act is now adjourned. And we will move into item 4, deputations.
Mr. Chair, what council meeting, what's the date of the council meeting these applications go to?
July 22nd.
July 20th, thank you.
Item 4.1, Diana Kay.
Good afternoon. I will be speaking. Diana is here and available.
All right, go ahead. You're speaking relating to Report Plan 2025-041, item 6.1 on the agenda.
Correct. Yeah. So the application before you today has been heard at a public meeting in January 2025. Since then, we have worked with staff and agencies as well as the owner to address all of the comments received. So I understand that economic development was previously concerned about severing the agricultural properties. And through our discussions with staff, we have determined that the current agricultural operation occurring on both the severed and retained lands are appropriate for their sizes. In addition to the natural severance supporting the 2 conveyed lots, it's important to recognize that the agricultural uses and the different sizes do not impact the existing or continued use of the operations that are on both lots. And with staff, we are in agreement with implementing an agricultural exception zone instead of the residential to account for the current and continued uses, as well as the rezoning to expand the existing EP to protect the 30 meters that are adjacent to the water feature that bisects the lands. And we have also read staff's report and also agree with the recommendation to place the holding provision to require the completion of the agricultural study, once any future development is required. Sorry. And I also would like to thank staff for their time and assistance with this application. And if you have any questions, I am available.
Thank you. Committee, any questions at this time? Everybody's good? Okay. Oh, Councillor Richardson, you're good? Okay. Can I have a motion to receive the deputation? Councillor Richardson, seconded. Mayor Elmsley, any discussion? All in favor? That carries.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. That brings us to correspondence, and I believe we have none, Sarah. Regular returned reports, item 6.1, Plan 2025-041, applications to amend the Kawartha Lakes official plan and Township of Emily zoning bylaw 1996-30 at 54 Loop Line, Omemee. Go ahead.
Hello, I am just sharing my screen really quickly. Can everyone see my screen?
Yep, we can see the screen, but I think there seems to be some background noise.
My apologies for that. I will speak louder to counteract that. So good afternoon, everyone. My name is Harani, and I'm an urban planner with Dillon Consulting Limited here on behalf of the City of Kawartha Lakes Development Services Division. Thank you to the applicant for being here today virtually, and to staff, the chair, and the rest of the Planning Advisory Committee for their time in considering the official plan amendment and zoning bylaw amendment applications, which would support the facilitation of a future severance. Notice for these applications have been provided to the landowner, agencies, and departments in accordance with the Planning Act. Comments received from relevant departments and agencies have been addressed. These applications, D01-2024-010 and D06-2024-025, were presented to PAC January 15, 2025 for information purposes. The subject lands, as shown on screen, are located at 54 Loop Line and are legally known as Part Lot 20, Concession 4, Geographic Township of Emily in the City of Kawartha Lakes. Surrounding uses are generally agricultural and rural, with some natural heritage features to the east and south of the property, as well as some residential uses to the west and south of the property. The subject land encompasses a total of approximately 35.1 hectares, or 32.11 acres, with approximately 194.8 meters of frontage on Loop Line. Existing uses include 2 single detached dwellings, one north of the creek and one south of the creek, a drive shed, and a barn near the north lot. While legally there are two civic addresses associated with the parcel, being 54 and 28 Loop Line, the subject property is one conveyable lot. The subject lands are designated rural, sand and gravel resources, and environmental protection uses in Schedule A3 in the City of Puerto Lakes official plan. The subject lands are zoned Agricultural A1 zone and Agriculture Exception 23 zone, and Environmental Protection zone on Schedule A of the Township of Emily zoning bylaw. The applicant intends to support a future consent application to create a new lot and requires both an official plan amendment and zoning bylaw amendment. The existing single detached dwelling, drive shed, and barn near the north dwelling will be retained. The existing single detached dwelling on the south end of the property, which will be severed, will also be severed. And the application proposes no new build form. The proposed official plan amendment seeks to permit the minimum lot size of 3.7 hectares for the proposed severed property and 31.4 hectares for the proposed retained property. Please note that the schedule as shown on screen has been revised to reflect both special provisions of the official plan amendment for this PAC report, as well as the other designations present on the property, which are the Sand and Gravel Resources designation and the Environmental Protection designation. Planning staff support the proposed official plan amendment to permit a reduced lot size. This proposal will not interfere with existing agricultural operations and appears to have no negative impact on the subject or surrounding lands, thus maintaining the integrity of the agricultural lands. The proposed zoning bylaw amendment, as detailed in Appendix E, would rezone the subject lands to Agricultural Exception 45 Holding, or A1-45 bracket H, as seen on the screen here, and Agricultural Exception 46, or A1-46 as seen on the screen here, to facilitate the severance to create a new lot intended for the purpose of a detached residential dwelling and agricultural use, as well as to permit the proposed reduced lot frontage and area of the retained lot and the proposed deficiencies in the minimum lot area, minimum lot frontage, and minimum front setback of the severed lot. This amendment includes a holding provision due to identified archaeological potential on the site. This provision will ensure cultural heritage resources are protected if any soil disturbance occurs in the future. Planning staff support the proposed zoning bylaw amendments based on contemporary standards and the technical nature of the severance. The official plan amendment and zoning bylaw amendment are supported in the PPS and the City of Puerto Lakes official plan. Planning staff are of the opinion that the amendments are appropriate. Accordingly, staff recommend that the official plan amendment respecting application D01-2024-010 in the form attached in Appendix D and the zoning bylaw amendment respecting applications D06-2024-025 in the form attached in Appendix E to report Plan 2025-041 be approved. The staff and the applicant are here to answer questions any committee members may have, and thank you very much.
Thank you. Committee, any questions? Recommendations? Councillor Richardson.
Through you, Chair, I will move the report as printed. Would you like me to read it?
Sure, I think we have time.
Okay. That report plan, yes.
Member Willick, seconded.
That report plan 2025-041, applications to amend the Kawartha Lakes official plan and Township of Emily zoning bylaw 1996-30 at 54 Loop Line, Omimi, Meridian Acres, Inc., CEO Wellman be received. That an official plan amendment respecting application D01-2024-010, substantially in the form attached as Appendix D and E to report plan 2051-041 be approved and adopted by Council. That a zoning bylaw amendment respecting application D06-2024-025, substantially in the form attached as Appendix F and G to report Plan 2025-041 be approved and adopted by Council, and that the Mayor and Clerk be authorized to execute the documents required by the approval of this application.
Any discussion? Okay, just as a point, everybody saw the updated documents in your package with regards to 6.1. All right. If there's Member Barkwell, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm sorry if I might. There's a hold an H, and I don't see where in the bylaw it says an H. Is that just understood? Is it there? I didn't see it. Is it? Okay, thank you. That was my question. Thank you.
Any further discussion? Calling the question, all in favor? And that carries. Thank you. And that brings us down to item 7 on our agenda this afternoon. Motion for adjournment. Mayor Elmsley, seconded by Member Barkwell. All in favor? That carries. Thank you very much for your time this afternoon.